In today's episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, I sit down with John to talk all about Final Minutes, the zombie apocalypse. Then we'll see what's on Kickstarter in our Kickstarter Corner portion of the show. But first, a word about our episode sponsors. This episode is powered by Gosh Darn Bubbles from Sandwich Bag Games, which is simple to learn and play, fast and fun. So much fun, in fact, that Michael Wright, who is an unfiltered gamer, went out and got a bubble machine. So run on over and check out their Kickstarter, which will have a link in the show notes, or just head on over to sandwichbaggames.com, look for an interview with them, and if you're listening after that, go back and listen. Plus, be on the lookout for a giveaway over at thegiveawaygeek.com. And if you want some super fast, simple fun, make sure you back Gosh Darn Bubbles on Kickstarter before Thursday, the 20th of June. I love it when a good game hits the floor running on Kickstarter, such is the case with this game. This episode is proudly powered by Bard Games and Fickle, a fairy board game featuring the art of Amy Brown. Fickle is a quick set collection game with unique scoring and press your luck mechanics, customizable gameplay, and gorgeous art. You have 5 rounds to win the Ritual of Ascendancy with your fellow players by manipulating their fairy cards. Choose a fairy family to gain its power and add it to your scoring alliance. The winner must gather a single fairy from each family or shoot the moon to win with a single faction. It sounds like an awesome game, and the art as well is spectacular. Want to know more? Well, go give my interview with the designer a quick listen. In my interview entitled, Are You Fickle? You Might Be a Fairy. Then after that, make sure you go and enter their giveaway we're doing with them over at thegiveawaygeek.com, in which one winner will receive Sherlock Holmes, The Vanishing Man, Pocket General World War II, and a playmat featuring Fickle art. The prize is valued at approximately 100 USD. Most importantly though, make sure you check out their Kickstarter for Fickle that reached its funding goal in only 12 hours, and then back it before Tuesday the 18th of June.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
So you've played zombie games and whatnot. You've been prepared for, you might be preparing for an apocalypse or whatnot, but you've prepared for the final minutes of the apocalypse. If not, that's okay, because we've got you covered in a new game that's on Kickstarter currently called Final Minutes: The Zombie Apocalypse, and today we're lucky enough to be joined by the creator mastermind behind this game. Is that right, John? Is that how you fall in line with Final Minutes?
I definitely would go with creator, a mastermind. I don't know. I get killed by the zombies too many times.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to let them know you have a brain, do you?
That's exactly right.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so hopefully they're not listening, but that's good. So now before we jump into everything about your game, let's rewind a little bit if we could, John. How did you get into playing tabletop board games?
Oh, I started out as a very, energetic game player at 7 or 8 years old, trying to get in with my big brothers as they were playing Risk or Monopoly and begging to be let play. And after a while, they finally let me go, and I got the pants beat off of me for a long time. But after a while, I started to win once in a while. And once I had that thrill of making it through on one of those games with those guys, I was hooked.
Awesome. And what games are you playing these days?
Risk has been a standby for so many years. I still play it. I love it. I love the strategy. I love the chance with the dice. I've always been into like Stratego. Once in a while, I'll break out a chessboard just to go back with some basic strategies there. I also like Settlers of Catan. Been a big fan of that franchise as well. several others, similar type games. Um, yeah, yeah. I have, like I got lots and lots of games in my cupboard.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so anytime somebody comes on the show and they bring up Risk, I always ask, would you be comfortable divulging your strategy? Like, how do you go about Risk?
Well, my kids have finally figured it out, so I suppose it's okay to share it with you guys. Australia. If you can get Australia bottled up right away, you've almost guaranteed yourself the game. Except for, of course, if the cards are running on the progressive rewards for the armies. There's times when your fellow player gets 40 armies and it's just too much. You can't do anything to stop it. But if you can get your foothold in Australia and get those 2 bonus armies right away, that makes a lot of difference to the game.
There you go. I always go for like you said, Australia, or I think North, South America, or North America, or Africa. My oldest son, he'll always go for he goes straight for Asia though, and he'll usually win me.
You got to be tough to hold Asia. You got to be good.
Yeah, most definitely. So that's awesome. Now, like we talked about before, word on the street is you created a new game, Final Minutes. What can you tell us about that game, John?
So I'll tell you a little bit of where I got it started. It was back in December of 2017. My kids and I were talking about different games, and we play a lot. And one of the things that came up was, we have a lot of dice laying around at these other games we've had over the years. What's a way to use them all in one game? And so we kind of played with that idea, and we had watched World War Z, and so we're thinking about zombies. And so we drew up a board where we could use tons of dice, but we use the dice as the zombie tokens. That way, the zombies could start the game with 6 life, and every time they were shot at or hacked at or chopped with machete, whatever, you could show the life going down on the token as it moved around the board. And it was a fun idea. We really got into it of bringing these zombies in, and we were running around trying to keep ourselves alive as we're trying to shoot the zombies and find different weapons, and the game just slowly evolved into what it is now, as we kept coming up with the new problems that would arise with zombies coming in and how we could solve those problems.
Okay, awesome. Now, during playtesting, was there anything you had to scrap because it just wouldn't work for the game?
The original setup that we tried, we had 5 waves of zombies, and it started out with 4, then 8, then 12, 16, and 20. And the problem with that is you could have games take way too long, even for just a few players. And we were winning like maybe 10% of the game. It was brutal, but it felt like you were in a zombie apocalypse. So because of the play testing and because of the people, the betas getting back to me, I realized I needed to still keep that same feel of being overwhelmed with the zombies coming everywhere, but I had to do it faster. I had to get it to more manageable length. And we've done that. We've got it to where now there's 3 ways that you have to survive to win the game. 5 zombies, 10 zombies, 20 zombies. It just doubles each time. Uh, and if you can do that, you can win. All you have to do is just survive those zombies. But they do come fast enough, and they can do enough damage, and some of them can be super zombies, that it's still extremely difficult to win. Which, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Okay, and is the last one standing wins?
It is a true cooperative game. If the humans, if you will, if they are all, it doesn't matter how many of them are left. If they kill all the zombies, they win. If the zombies kill all the humans, they win. But another one of the things that our beta testers got us started on is that you can become a zombie when you get killed, because you've played Risk where you're the second player or first player out of the game, and everybody else is still having a good time, but you're wandering around looking for cookies and milk and whatnot. And with this one, we decided to, it's legit. When you get killed, you are now a zombie, but you're playing as a zombie, and you're trying to help the zombies win. And we've figured out the rules in such a way that it's reasonably fair, although again very difficult. But you can do it. You can kill all the zombies, both the regular zombies coming after you, and the players turn zombie. But again, often the players turn zombie with the zombies together ends up being too much, and you can lose.
Okay, yeah. So there you go. Then you don't have to sit the game out. So that's really good.
Yeah, we first we thought, well, most games are like that, and so we just thought, well, that's the way it's got to be. And then, like I said, one of our beta testers was like, why? Why sit the game out? become a zombie, start running around, trying to eat the other people, and yeah, it's actually a lot of fun that way. Really a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we were kind of, at least that part of it reminds me somewhat of Towers of Madness that I played a little bit ago in one of my game groups, where if you're like the mechanics or whatnot change, or what you do changes when you become mad, and the other players don't necessarily, so you're doing different things. I thought it was quite an interesting thing. So that's pretty cool that you're able to do that with this as well.
Yeah, you can't use any weapons when you're a zombie. You know, you lose your knife, you lose any other your rifle or gun, anything else you picked up is gone. But you can do double damage as a zombie. And yeah, when you have a choice of one of the players turned zombie coming at you and a regular zombie coming at you, you will target the player turned zombie because they're more dangerous.
How's that?
Well, when you have your weapons, you literally on your turn you get to choose what you're going to do. You choose what direction you want to go. You choose if you're going to aim and shoot, if you're going to run and hide, and if there's two zombies in front of you and you have a weapon, because some weapons can target more than one zombie. Flamethrower obviously can hit more than one, but you know, like the axe or the machete, you got to target one. Um, you can choose which one to target, just like you would in real life. If you're faced with a real situation of being charged by several zombies. And so you try and take out the one that's the most dangerous, which a player turned zombie is definitely more dangerous than a regular zombie.
Okay, yeah, so that's interesting. So that's good that you're able to do that. Now, when per se me and you sat down to play Final Minutes, what's my turn gonna look like?
So on every turn, there's always modifiers with the cards because there's what we call the danger deck that is, you know, your chance, good luck, bad luck, and some of those cards will change things slightly. But in general, you get 3 actions per turn. And on with those actions, you can move for each action, so that you can move 3 squares, or you could fire a weapon for one of the actions, move 2 squares, or you could fire a weapon, move 1 square, and use a knife. So there's potentially a lot of different variations, but it's still you always get 3 actions. You don't roll a dice for how many actions you get, but you do roll a dice for damage and for how many zombies may be coming after you and that sort of thing. So there's definitely some strategies that can be used, but it's also definitely a game that has a lot of chance and guesswork of trying to, you know, figure out what the zombies are doing and where they're going and where they're going to congregate because you don't want to be there when they get there.
Yeah, how does that work with the AI? Like, how do you tell where the zombies go and whatnot?
So you treat the game board just like a giant clock, and it's got numbers at the key directional points, 8 numbers. And you start at the number 1, which is to the north, and you literally move the zombies. Um, they all get to move 2 squares per turn, and you start at number 1 and you just work your way around the whole board, moving the zombies in. If they're close enough to a player, they rush and attack. If they're not, they just kind of wander mindlessly around. And that's all good and well and good as long as they don't bump into you and eat you. But usually, if they get close enough, they hear you or know that you're there and come after you. And it's all
Okay, so if I understand correctly, they're circling the board and going further in as they go.
yeah. They will march if there's no player in front of them and nobody else around them. They will just march to the base like a mindless zombie. They just take their 2 steps towards the base. They don't attack. They don't do anything unless there's someone close to them. And then, if you're within that radius that they can reach you, they will rush over and attack. So if you kind of keep out of their way, it's not so bad. You can keep out of the way, you can find a weapon, you can get a way to kill them. But when there's more zombies coming on the board, that's when it gets tough. Several players playing against when the first round of 5 zombies, rarely does anybody get hurt on those first 5 zombies. But if you don't have weapons and aren't kind of hunkered down ready for the next wave when 10 come on board, you could be in trouble. And usually the cards are throwing more random zombies around the board. So it can be extremely difficult.
Okay, and so do you add a new wave of zombies comes each round or something after every player's gone?
If you kill all 5 zombies, well, it doesn't matter which wave you're on. If you kill all the zombies, or if you take more than 5 rounds, which is every player taking 1 turn becomes a round. And if you've gone 5 rounds, then the next wave of zombies come. So again, we used to do it differently. We had a lot of things that we've changed over time, but by keeping it to a 5 round minimum before the next wave of zombie comes, it keeps the game moving and kicking along pretty fast. Uh, the, the cards are are honestly the danger deck. It's brutal because you get a card that says, every player may gain a life if needed. That's great. But then you get a card that says every player rolls a four-sided dice and puts that many zombies around them. That can be brutal. And that's the kind of thing that could happen in a zombie apocalypse. You're there, you've got a few people, you're trying to defend yourself, and all of a sudden, more zombies appear over the horizon. And that's the way this game plays. Sometimes it's like, okay, we had a chance. In fact, there's a common theme amongst the people that play this, that beta test. Anytime anybody says we're going to win, almost without fail, players that have played a few times will yell at them. They're like, "Don't say that! You'll curse us. There'll be a whole bunch more zombies next turn." And it tends to run that way. As soon as you think you've got it won, zombies will just come from everywhere and take you out.
Oh boy, you better knock on wood.
Exactly. You try and just keep it a low key and hope the luck runs your way and fight zombies. And lots of times I'll have new players like, okay, what do I do? Well, it's easy. Fight zombies. Fight zombies. That's what we're here for. We're trying to survive.
Awesome. So that's pretty cool. And so it looks like you get a bunch of different dice as well as some tokens to be the your player pieces. But there's also some skull heads. What are those for?
Okay, so the playing pieces are just right now they're the standard round token like Sorry or anything else. But those skull pieces snap on to the top of the player tokens. So when you get turned into a zombie, you literally snap one of those skulls onto the top of your playing piece. So it's very obvious to the other players that you are now a zombie. There's a gold one, and the gold one, the first player who turns zombie, he is a king zombie, and he can control the regular zombies around him. He still has a limit of how many actions he gets per turn, but I've seen a person that was playing as the king zombie attack another player by using other zombie tokens and hit them for 4 attacks in one turn, which is brutal. Most turns you face 1 or maybe 2 attacks, but played right, the king zombie can be extremely devastating to the living player.
Oh boy, well that's kind of cool that you just put them on top of your piece after. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. They snap right on the top, and then that way, you're. And that's one of the things we're hoping that with the Kickstarter that we can get some custom pieces, and instead of just a skull, actual zombie head. That would be even cooler.
Oh, there we go. Awesome. Now, so when it comes to Final Minutes of Zombie Apocalypse, John, what makes your game pop as one the audience should go check out, and if they like what they see, back it on Kickstarter today?
So the best thing about Final Minutes is that you really get an emotional connection with the game. When a zombie attacks you, if you're outside of the small base in the center, you have a 50-50 chance. That means you just roll a dice and call odd or even. If you get it correct, you duck the zombie's attack. If you get it wrong, the zombie hits you. And I played this game once. I was at a convention, and we set up a game, and we're playing with a guy that he's a medical student, but he was also a professional analyst. And he told me, he says, this game is driving me crazy. He says, because I know that if the zombie has tried to attack, and I've called odd 3 times in a row, that there's still a 50-50 chance of that zombie hitting me on the next roll. And everyone that plays, you get this, when that dice roll is ready to go, and you have to call to decide whether or not you're going to get hit or not, everyone cringes. And you get that, you tighten up, and you're like, oh, I got to get this right. And it makes it fun. It makes it into an adventure that every time that something happens, every time one of those zombies gets close enough, you have to choose and decide your own fate. And it's based on the roll of the dice, so there's definitely an element of chance in there, and it's fun.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like it. I really like the art as well. So, and we'll make sure we leave all the links in the show notes so people can just click on over and check out the campaign and see what you have going on. It looks like it goes through Saturday, the 22nd of June. So that's awesome. And now we can delete this out if we need to or if not. Word on the street is you're going to be doing a giveaway with us over at thegiveawaygeek.com. Do you know what you'll be giving away to the winner of that?
Yes, I will be giving away one of the prototype games. And so you may have a few of the cards in the Danger deck that are actually handwritten, but that's because they are the exact copies of what I sent out to my beta testers with a few modifications. but yeah, a little bit better copy than some of the beta testers got. But you'll be getting one of those prototypes that I've held in reserve for a chance needing it. So it'll be a completely playable game. It will even have the upgraded character cards in it, as shown on the picture at Kickstarter. So it's going to be it's going to be a good game, and it'll also be a signed copy, like the 250 that we've got limited on the special collector's edition there.
Okay, there we go. And well, those links they'll probably go up in the next couple days here, and so we'll make sure we leave links in the show notes for that as well as soon as that's live and going. And it looks like there's several different options on what they can back as some stories and some of the game or whatnot. So we'll leave a link in there, and then we encourage anybody listening to go ahead and check out the Kickstarter page. It'll be live through Saturday, the 22nd of June. Now we don't want to keep you all day because we know time is valuable, especially if you're waiting for your final minutes. So mine is coming there to your hometown to stalk you, John. How would people keep up with what you're doing over there with final minutes and other stuff you might have coming up in the near future?
We've got our final minutes Facebook page. You can definitely go there and get part of our final minutes group. And we've already got other games in the pipeline. One of the things that we're hoping to do is a game based on the same board as the Zombie Apocalypse, but turn it into a fantasy version. Final minutes, the Orcish invasion, and set it up to where players can play as orcs and play as elves and go back and forth and have, instead of having rifles and shotguns and things like that, they'd have longbows and basket swords and things of that nature, battle axes. But much the same premise, only with maybe just a few more dice, because then you could play around with, instead of just having zombies that have 6 life, you could have orcs that have 6, and you could have maybe trolls that have 10, or there's quite a few possibilities that can be played around with, and it's again ends up being something that fairly unique. It's new, it's kind of fresh, and at the end of the day, it's just a fun game.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I like the idea. It sounds really cool. And like I said, we'll make sure we leave links in the show notes so they can come on and click on over. And also, we'd encourage anybody listening to check out our giveaway that will be going live with you in the next couple days. And yeah, like I said, we don't want to keep you all night, John, but we really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Game Relief with us to talk all about Final Minutes, the Zombie Apocalypse.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Wow, that was cool talking to John. If you like what you heard, head on over and back his game now so we can see Final Minutes, the Zombie Apocalypse become a reality. Make sure to check on over at thegiveawaygeek.com in the next couple days as well when we go live with a giveaway he has sponsored through us. Let's take a walk, not to the corner store, but to Kickstarter Corner.
What is this place? What is it doing here in the Leaves computer? Oh, it's Kickstarter Corner with the Leaves.
I'm a big fan of retro Nintendo games. I was quite glad to hear that one of our proud Kickstarter backers, Vespius Media, just launched Monstrosity Rampage, which gives me the feel of none other than the video game Rampage that I loved back in the day. Unlike the board game formerly known as Rampage, Monstrosity Rampage is a real-time co-op speed dice smash the city game that elevates your adrenaline levels to the maximum. It's even got an awesome narrative fight the evil genius Dr. Spotnik with your monster squad in this epic city-smashing game. Even though here in the Leaf household we prefer competitive games, I'm going to back it now, and you should too. If it's not up when you're first listening to this episode, make sure you check back later on in the episode show notes to enter a giveaway we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com with Vespius Media, or you can just go over there to thegiveawaygeek.com. I just found another miniatures game as well. Slightly 30 years ago, I thought these years would be more awesome than they are. We still don't have flying cars nor real hoverboards, but I still am a die-hard true and blue fan of Back to the Future. So, about 30 years in the future from now, is Omnicore Protocol. If our world doesn't turn out like this come 30 years from now, I won't be as sad as the lack of Back to the Future tech has made me. Omnicore Protocol is an intra-apocalyptic, squad-based arena combat miniatures game for 1 to 4 players with a third-party enemy that your opponent controls. There's 4 great factions to choose from. My favorite from the looks of it would have to be the one with a huge elephant named Jugger and Bob the Bear. Let's make this game a reality by backing it on Kickstarter before Thursday the 20th of June. Make sure you subscribe to the show so you don't miss the episode in which I sit down to chat about this awesome looking game. You probably played Memory as a kid, but did it really have any risk in it? That's what I thought. Well, Zoomer Games had filled that niche for you with Dino Dig Risky Sights. It's a risky dinosaur set collection game in which you've got to ask yourself, what will you dig up? Dino Dig Risky Sights is a risk and chance set collection game where players dig to find the most valuable dinosaur fossils in a scorpion-infested site. Think Minesweeper, but no mines, dinosaurs, and scorpions will be in it instead. Players will be forced with risk versus reward decisions and can use probability to find their missing pieces. Each player also has a toolbox full of helpful equipment to guide them along the way. Will you risk digging for valuable dinosaurs and maybe face scorpions? Or will you play it safe and hope to win by digging for smaller fossils? Find out if you are the best paleontologist. If you're not scared of scorpions in a game, make sure you check out their campaign and back it before Monday the 3rd of June. You've played card games. You've probably played Jenga, and you might have even played Twister. Well, Charmy Dreams the cat wanted to design a whole excitement experience, so they created and launched the Mouse Stones. Fight for the Great Color Stones, in which you grab stones and ambush friends. Winners can leave their opponents in tears by winning all precious stones. Do you remember the Purdy Fire Gems from Fire Tower that was on Kickstarter a while back ago? Well, this one has lots of colorful plastic stones, 200 to be exact. It'll light up your game table and gaming experience. I want a copy for the Leaf household, and I know you will too. So make sure you check out their Kickstarter campaign and then back it before Wednesday the 5th of June. If you liked any of the games we talked about in today's episode, make sure you check out their Kickstarter campaigns to show them and us a little love. Backing them goes a long way. Plus, make sure to stay up to date on all the giveaways we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com. There will be at least 2 to 3 new giveaways going live over there next week. It's our least favorite time as well as yours. So until next episode, make sure you go ahead and get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others in the geekfold by sharing our episodes with others, as well as keeping up with the giveaways we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com. Gamer Leaf out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.